Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-August 2023 love reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and a gap spread. And the way it works is to look at the past, present, and future energies between you and a main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight, and that's where the bridge and a gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left is your energy and the cards on the right is the other person's. If you feel like it's the way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Three of Coins. So this is actually a Capricorn energy here, and usually this is an energy of collaborating, building, something long-term, something successful. And if we look at the artwork here, we see that this person's alone, right? And if we look at their facial expression, I get it to focus. There we go. We can see that they don't necessarily look all that happy, right? So it could just be one of those things where you might have felt like you were showing up in the past where you wanted to build something long-standing and stable, but you might have felt like this person wasn't necessarily showing up in the same way. Past energy on their side, we have the Three of Wands. So, I mean, to be fair, looking at the artwork here, it looks like that supports what you were feeling, right? Which it looks like could just be one of those things where this person might get a lot of attention, right? So they might just like enjoying that type of dynamic versus really being in a more traditional type of relationship role. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Six of Coins. So here, if we look at the artwork again, if we look at this person's facial expression, they don't necessarily look all that happy, right? We see the snowy background, which makes you think of the Five of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And here it looks like they're trying to restore balance, right? But obviously this person doesn't look too happy with that effort. So it could just be one of those things where it says that even when they do attempt to show up in a more solid way for you, it just might not feel like it's a good match between the two of you. And you might feel like it's coming up short. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, if we look at the artwork here, looks like the kid is like cringing from the person kissing him on the cheek, right? So it could just be one of those things where, on the one hand, right, it could represent a bit of a young stage between the connection with the two of you, but also it could just be saying that they just seem to struggle a little bit with a more traditional type of role within the connection, you know? They just might have a more light, social type of energy, whereas at least in the cards on your side, it looks like you're in more of like an introvert versus extrovert mode, you know? I feel like this is very introverted. This looks like a more extroverted energy on this side, which obviously that does work in some connections, but it looks like there just might not be an acceptance of those dynamics yet. Future energy on your side, we have balance. So yeah, to me this says that for some of you might actually come to a realization that maybe you will eventually feel like you can accept that, right? Because if we think about you guys being water, we see the watery energy on the right, then we see the fiery energy on the left, right? So it could just be saying that with time you might actually start to appreciate the differences between the two of you, and you might actually be able to, and maybe it's more of one of those things where at this present moment you might still be taking it personally, right? That, oh, they're not showing up the way that I would like them to, but then you might just come to the realization that, okay, it's just that they have a different approach to things than I do, and it's not necessarily personally directed toward me, right? So it could just be one of those things that might help you find some peace in the connection. All right, future energy on their side, we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So yeah, to me, the Nine of Cups in the upright is definitely a really positive card, but to see it in reverse, to me, it's still not a really, bad thing necessarily, but I feel like this is just saying that, again, we see the more traditional couple dynamic in this artwork, right? So to me, it says that, yeah, it could just be one of those things where it's not that they necessarily mind it, but it's just one of those things where it's not their natural mode that they function in, so it's one of those things where I feel like they would be willing to do these more traditional type couple things with you, show up in that way, but I feel like they also just have that calling that they always want to be on adventures, things along those lines there, which is interesting because that's actually Sagittarius energy there. So maybe you're dealing with someone who's a Sagittarius or has those types of energies in their chart. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Seven of Coins. So yeah, here we see the artwork here too, right? Well, like I said, it seems like you just might view them through your eyes. You might view it as maybe they're not as mature as you, right? Or at least not showing up that way in the connection, and that could be a disappointment for you. And you could just be reconsidering if you want to continue on that path or not. But like I said, it looks like for some of you might adjust and realize that it's not anything personal towards you, it's just how they operate. Like I said, it seems like very much a super introverted versus super extroverted type of energy between the two of you. All right, bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Fool. So yeah, like I said, it just seems like this is just the way this person operates. They're always on to one adventure to the next, right? We see a lot of birds there. So yeah, like I said, it could just be one of those things where you might just realize that, okay, it's just how they are, right? And then from there it becomes a matter of, can you live with that or not? All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the Messages of Love Oracle cards deck here. Just looking for a single card from this deck. Almost have one there. Alright, so nothing's coming up, so what I'll do is just put the deck down, give me a few seconds to tune in, and we'll just pull a card. Alright. Alright, we'll take this one here. Let me get this out of the way. And next we'll pull a card from the Wisdom Oracle deck. Same situation as the single card here. And we'll read the messages from both cards and wrap up the reading with those. Nope, already got one there. So, okay. As I make a mess. First, we'll see what we got from the Messages of Love Oracle cards. Alright, we have Trust. It says, it is safe to trust in this situation. So, yeah, that kind of aligns with what I was saying, where, like I said, it seems like there is a certain level of innocence with this person's energy, where, like I said, maybe initially you're thinking that because they're not showing up in the same way you would like in a relationship, that there could be other people involved. Like I said, it just seems like they're just kind of in a more adventurous mode, but it's not anything personal towards you. It's just how they function, at their best anyway. Like I said, it does look like they would make an effort to show up for you, but it's just not, their ideal way to spend time all the time. All right, and interestingly enough, we have Not For You. So there's the artwork, and the number is 6. So yeah, for some of you, this might say, hey, for some of you, you can say, all right, this really is who this person is, but can I live with that or not, right? Which I think we already briefly mentioned already too, where you're like, okay, now I get that this is just how this person is. It's something personal toward me, but can I actually see this going long term or not? And for some of you, it looks like you will, but let's see what the message says in the book. All right, the relationship message says, some relationships carry an innate seed of failure in them that is obvious from the beginning, but the red flags escape your observation or you refuse to acknowledge them. When a relationship is not meant to be, it's not possible to make it be. Rejection is a sign that you're being protected by the divine. If you are the one who must reject another, remember that you do so for both your sakes. For every pot there is a lid. This one may not be the best fit. Yeah, like I said, definitely an interesting message there. I will say it does seem like there's definitely different approaches to things, but like I said, I feel like, it's somewhat common to have an introvert and extrovert relationship, but just a matter of adjusting to how they show up in those connections. So hope it resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.